So you've probably heard the term AI agents being thrown around a lot lately, right? And for good reason. Today, we're going to look beyond the chatbots we've all gotten used to and explore what might just be the next giant leap in artificial intelligence.
I mean, have you ever been in that spot? You're using an AI tool and you're thinking, man, I just wish you could do the thing, not just talk about it. You wish you could actually take that next step for you and get something done. Well, that's the exact problem AI agents are being built to solve.
Okay, let's really get into the nuts and bolts of what makes them different. On the left, you've got your standard large language model, think ChatGPT. It's totally reactive. It just sits there and waits for you to tell it what to do. But on the right, you have an AI agent. And this is a whole different ballgame. Agents are proactive. You give them a goal and they just go. They operate on their own, stringing together multiple steps, using live data, and tapping into different tools to get the job done. All right, so we've established they're active doers instead of just passive responders. But what does that really mean? Let's get a solid definition on the table.
So here's the official take. The key phrases you've got to grab onto here are multi-step and minimal ongoing input. This isn't just about spitting out a paragraph of text. Nope. It's all about making decisions and actually taking action to nail a complex goal without you having to hold its hand the whole way through. And when you put these core ideas together, you get something, well, completely new. You've got autonomy, so it can just go and do its thing without supervision. It can tackle these big, messy, multi-part goals. It has memory, which is huge, so it learns as it goes. And this is the real game changer. It can use tools, connecting to other software and APIs to make things happen. Okay, this all sounds pretty cool, right? But how does it actually work under the hood? The easiest way to picture it is to think of an agent as having a brain, hands, and eyes. So, the brain, well, that's actually something you're probably pretty familiar with already. It's usually a large language model, an LLM. This is the part that does the thinking, the reasoning, it gets the goal, figures out the steps, and makes the plan. But, a brain on its own, stuck in a digital box, not super useful. It needs hands and eyes to actually interact with the world. And for an AI agent, that's where APIs come in. Think of them as the connectors that let it see, touch, and use the digital world around it. Search APIs let it see what's on the web. Data APIs give it access to real-time info. And tool APIs are like its hands, letting it actually perform actions in other programs. So how does it put the brain and the tools together? It uses this really simple but powerful little loop called the REACT pattern. It's just 3 steps: reason, act, and observe. First, it thinks, what should I do? Then it acts, it uses a tool, and then it observes. Okay, what happened? It just keeps running through that cycle, getting smarter with each loop until the job is done. Let's bring this down to earth with a real-world example. Picture an engineering agent. Its job is to check a technical drawing. It doesn't need someone looking over its shoulder telling it what to do next. It just goes. It runs through the checklist, checks the part numbers, looks at the materials, and hunts for errors. And when it finds one, bam, it marks it right on the drawing and explains what's wrong. The entire thing, start to finish, with no human prompting. Now that level of autonomy, it's just incredible, right? It's powerful. But with great power, well, you know how it goes. This stuff cuts both ways, so we have to talk about the amazing promise, but also the very, very real peril. So on the one hand, the potential upside is huge. We're talking massive boosts in productivity, right? Agents could supercharge innovation and, maybe best of all, free us up from all those boring, repetitive tasks we all hate doing. But then you flip the coin, and whoa, the list of worries here is long and honestly pretty sobering. You can kind of group them into a few big buckets. You've got the tech and security risks, things like software bugs spiraling out of control or security holes. Then there's the huge societal impact: job displacement, misinformation, data privacy, you name it. And finally, you have these deep human questions, like who's to blame when an agent messes up? And what happens to our own brains when we start outsourcing all our thinking? And look, these are not small-time risks. AI pioneer Yoshua Bengio put it really bluntly. He warned that pretty much all of the catastrophic AI scenarios we worry about, they happen if we build autonomous agents. That's a really powerful statement that shows you just how high the stakes are. Okay, so if just letting these things run wild is too risky, what's the plan? What's the alternative? That brings us to a super important idea: keeping the human in the loop. Thinking about collaboration, not just total automation.
Here's the thing about full automation. We tend to forget that AI models can be really brittle. I mean, they're fantastic at seeing patterns they've been trained on, but throw something new at them, something they've never seen before, and they can fail spectacularly. So the goal shouldn't be to just get the human out of the way, but to figure out the smartest way to keep them involved. And that is exactly what the human in the loop framework is all about. And this isn't just a human clicking yes or no at the end. It's way smarter than that. It's a true partnership where human experts step in at just the right moments to validate the really important stuff, to make a judgment call when the AI is confused, and even to teach the AI so it gets better and more reliable over time. And this quote right here, it just nails the whole point. Reliable autonomy is a collaborative achievement. Reliability isn't some feature you can just code in. It's something that grows out of that smart partnership between the AI and a human. One brings the speed and the scale, the other brings the wisdom and the judgment. So that really leaves us with a big question to chew on, right? As we keep building these incredible systems, we have to keep asking ourselves, are we building partners to make us smarter? Or are we just building fancy tools to outsource our own thinking? The answer to that question? Well, that's going to shape everything. Thanks for digging into this with me.